Good morning, everybody. It's harvest time. So, thank you all for joining. He's gardening with Sweet Tea Trika right now. Okay, so far this morning I just cut this zucchini and this zucchini out of this garden bed. Well, I have two zucchini plants. Yesterday I was able to harvest 6 zucchini out of here. Today, so far, I just cut two zucchini. So happy about that. I cooked with one last night. After I took them in the house, I gave them a zucchini bath with some white vinegar and warm water. Let them soak in the water and wash off the ants, the bugs, the slugs, anything that might have been on the zucchini. But today I'm also going to do jalapenos. So I got one so far, and I'm going to turn the camera over here, bring it a little bit closer as I go into the pepper garden. All right, let's see if I got it angled right. Hello everyone, thanks for joining. All right, so we got the potatoes right here, and then this is the bell pepper and jalapeno section. Okay, so if you can see here, in my previous videos I had showed where I pruned the bottom stems of these jalapeno plants, and after I pruned them, which they had started growing flowers up here, the white flowers, so I trimmed all the stems that were below that flower, the first flower. So they started to grow jalapenos shortly after I did that. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. So I'm just gonna clip a jalapeno right here, and look at that. Now I use jalapenos when I make pico de gallo. I use jalapenos when I make guacamole. I use jalapenos when I make fresh salsa. So for me, I was trying to have a salsa garden. I got the tomatoes right here, jalapenos right here, onions over here in this bin, and I have 2 more with onions. And that's how you make pico, with tomatoes, onion, jalapenos. I got it right here, and tomatoes. And then we make guacamole, it's the same thing. I use tomatoes, but I gotta have avocados. That's why you see my videos where I'm trying to grow avocado trees over here in my RV. And but when you make guacamole, you need avocados, you need tomatoes, jalapenos, onions, bell peppers, which I have bell pepper plants, and cilantro. I'm not growing any cilantro yet, but that is something when I do herb garden section. Probably next year work on herbs and probably have like 20 or 30 of these boxes once we move and do a big garden. But look at this. Fresh jalapeno. So far in my basket we got 2 zucchini, 2 jalapenos. I'm going to clip the rest of these up. Let's go ahead and harvest these jalapenos that look pretty big. Oh yeah, here's one back here. See, I gotta, and the only thing about these raised garden beds, unless you can walk around it, because we have put the cover on there, so it would have been better if I could have walked around, to be able to clip the stuff instead of having to reach all the way over and almost fall into the, you don't want to see me fall into the garden bed. But look at that jalapeno. Yes. So I just wanted to share me harvesting live. I got another one. That is 4 jalapenos so far, but it's so little. Oh, and some of these, you know what? I am telling a story because this first set right here, this one is Serrano pepper. See that tag? So, Serrano, they it says medium heat turn. They look like they'll be red. So if you leave them on here longer, so I have not messed with the Serrano, but the jalapenos are back here. And it looks like the jalapenos have a different shape than the Serranos, maybe. Look like they get bigger. Nothing's happening on the bell peppers yet. And then let's see if we flip it around over here. Let's look at the tomatoes. So this one is still here, this green one. I'm waiting for it to turn at least a little bit red, and then I can put it in the windowsill. I know some people pull them or even cook them green, but I mean, I like red tomatoes. And I tasted one of the tomatoes. The first one that I pulled last night, I'm gonna post a video about that. But that tomato, oh, it like melted in my mouth. It was so good, fresh out of the garden tomato. It tastes much better than the store-bought. So, is anybody else growing tomatoes or jalapenos or zucchini? We do have a garden. It's in ground. I don't know if you can see it over here, but it rains, so it's got a lot of water. But I do see a squash from here over there growing. So in that garden on that side, we have squash, watermelon. What else over there? The cucumbers. I think some jalapenos are over there. 'Cause I had went to the store and I bought 34 plants. Now I had tried to do the seeds this year, started in March, which was too late. So the seeds didn't work out for me, but some of the seeds, we did have some that we put over here in the seedlings last. Mine didn't. So with me and my father-in-law, we both were trying to do an experiment here in this garden. Like I said, the cucumbers are growing, the squash are growing over there on that side. And then in this garden, the jalapenos, I'm about to clip another jalapeno. All right. Jalapenos are growing. All right, let's see. There you go, jalapeno. So, I mean, I just can't wait until I have about 20 or 30 of these boxes. But you can see it's muddy. I'm stepping in the mud on the ground. It rained. It's been raining all week. But, like I said, I'm new to gardening. I tried this in Virginia. We tried to do a garden and on the side of the house, and we had just put seeds in the same black containers and put seeds everywhere, and it started growing like crazy. So it turned into a jungle, and I gave up on gardening. That was in 2020 or 2021. So I took a 4-year break, I guess, from trying to garden anything. But now we're here in South Carolina, and the gardening process is going. It's a learning process. Definitely a learning process, because at first when we were doing the garden beds, we put fertilizer, and then it was like, oh, too much fertilizer, so we had to take some of it out. And good thing we did, because I don't know how big the zucchini would have been if we had left all that. This zucchini probably would have been this tall. Oh boy. So yeah, we did use the fertilizer, and then I only put insecticide, that 7 powder. I had a video about that too. I only used that one time so far out here in this garden, but we're going to check the potatoes because they're starting to turn. So we got to Google that and see, does that mean that they're almost ready? If you know anything about the potatoes, put it in the chat for me, and we can look at the potatoes together and see if they're almost ready. Same thing with the onions. I had bought the onions from the store in the bag the little bulbs onions. We did white and the red onion. And like I said, I got 3 containers with onions and then the one with potatoes. But if you know anything about potatoes, let me know. I'll flip the camera around. We can look at these potatoes to see if they're almost done. And like I said, I got so far just a few. I'm so happy. I'm going to do a whole photo shoot with my zucchini again today. I post them on Instagram, Facebook. But you can do a lot of stuff with zucchini. Every time, because I'm vegetarian. I've been vegetarian 2.5 years. And when I order something, and it's a veggie something, it always got zucchini in it. Veggie stir fry, hibachi, zucchini. When you go to Mexican, you get a veggie fajita, veggie taco, they use zucchini. So I'm like, well, at least zucchini wasn't hard to grow. From the seed, I didn't try any zucchini seeds. I had just bought the plants. And I just bought 2 plants. And so far from 2 plants, which were, each plant was $1.99. So each plant was $1.99, so $4, right? So on Walmart, I looked yesterday to get 2 organic zucchini in the little package is $2.98. So for $3 you get 2 zucchini. Okay, here's your 2 zucchini right here. But I just pulled 6 yesterday, like I said. So I got to make a video about that too. Hell yeah. When you grow it yourself, you will be saving money from the grocery store. At least you know where it came from. I know what was used in the soil. We mixed the soil together. And we know what fertilizer we use. We know which insecticide we use. And then when I wash it off, I mean, it was delicious. We cut a piece. I posted a video yesterday. The fresh zucchini. Sliced it and ate it right out the garden. You know, it hadn't even got cold in the refrigerator. And it was good. It had a nice crunch to it. And like I said, this is not mushy. Every time I buy zucchini or something, even cucumbers too from the store, they're a mushy mess. Hey, my son over here. You want to say hi on live? We on live, TikTok live. They went to the gas station. But look, I got 2 zucchini. Oh, the sun is doing good. I gotta take me some pictures right here. Say hey.
Hey, Lai.
Jordan, say hi.
Hey, Lai.
Oh. Can they see you? Oh, no, wait a minute.
You can't see me, it's fine.
Okay, well, it's fine. But he was in the video I posted yesterday holding up the zucchini. Like, which one was better, the homegrown or store-bought? That's my son, Jordan. My sweetheart. Huh? But, you know, I don't want to hold you guys up. If you had any questions for me about this gardening process so far, I mean, building the raised garden beds, we used scrap wood. That was not a hard process for my husband. You know, when you can find the scrap wood and you got some nails and you know how to put it together like a puzzle, it didn't take long. That was a one-day project. What else? The soil. I have a video showing all the soil and what we put in the garden beds. I said it was a process, paying for the bags of soil. A lot of people don't discuss how much it costs, but each bag was like $25, $30. But you want to get quality. We got Fox Farm soil, and you can go to places that have them bring in, dump loads of soil, compost, because we did that before, ordered compost, and you can go do it like that. But just for these 2 garden beds, we had to just go to the store and get some soil to put in here. And like I said, I have a video showing us putting together the garden bed. Then another video of what we put in the garden bed. And that's about it. And like I said, I tried to do seeds. I have videos and I went on live with me trying to do the seeds. But I cannot start the seeds in March and hope that you get anything. It was too late. You got to start the seeds indoors. Probably I'm going to have to get that together in January and do my seeds inside. And then so by the time we bring them outside, they look like the plants that I got from the store, at least being that size. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all so much. But like I said, if you grew zucchini, put that in the chat. Let me know if you grew some zucchini, how that turned out. If you want to share and let everybody know what special fertilizer you might have used, or what type of insecticides you use, let us know. And also, if you're also growing jalapenos, put that in the chat. Let me know if you're doing jalapenos. I want to do a garden, a salad garden and a salsa garden. Things that I use all the time. I always use bell peppers. I'm always using onions, always using potatoes. Like I said, being a vegetarian for 2.5 years, there's a lot of stuff that I use. Tomatoes. I mean, if I can get a tomato this big, I can cut it up. That'd be part of my dinner. A fresh tomato out of the garden. I mean, that's like last night we ate a slice up the first tomato I cut out of here yesterday, and it was delicious. I'm like, I cannot wait until I have more fresh vegetables, because like I told the kids, you don't even have to cook this. When you cook vegetables and stuff, you cook the nutrients out of it, right? But you know, a lot of people like to cook their food, so since I'm not doing a raw vegan diet, I mean, I can slice it up, put seasoning, and I made zucchini and squash stir fry last night. But like I said, just stuff right out the garden, wash it off and be able to eat it and survive and live. Because me being a vegetarian, I'm hungry a lot, and I'm like, oh, I know if I can grab me a zucchini, I can cut that up with some onion and make some rice, I got a meal. So I make cheap vegetarian meals. I got another page, Easy Meals with Sweet Tea Trika, where I post just food videos. As a home cook, I've been cooking as a wife. I've been married 18 years. And I try to do easy meals, quick meals, healthy things. We don't use the oven in the RV. Try not to use the propane. So I use the grill, the pellet smoker, the electric pellet smoker. I use the crock pot. I use the air fryer. And that's a lot of the videos that I've been posting, is just things that I've been able to cook outside, a lot of outdoor cooking. But like I said, it's been great with this gardening process. At first, I got really frustrated and I was ready to quit. Once my seeds weren't doing so great, I was like, oh, forget it. We took the stuff, we threw all the stuff in the trash. I mean, because I don't know what was going on. Maybe because we had these covers, the greenhouse cover, the lid on the garden bed with the seeds, and I think that's what happened. Like the seeds got suffocated. Maybe it was just too hot under that cover. Ooh, excuse me. So that's why they say it's better, I believe, to do the start your seeds inside, so that because it was still cold out here at first. You know, that's why we put the plant in the ground that I bought after Easter. No, it was Good Friday. So you know, they say Good Friday, around Easter time, once the ground and the soil is about 50 degrees at night, because it was just too cold out here still. So if I got those seeds and it's cold, and then when the sun does come up, then they were getting suffocated under the greenhouse. And I started them in March. So I guess there's a lot of factors that I had an issue, because like in the other garden right beside me, my father-in-law, he had his seeds just sitting outside, and then he had a cover on them, but he didn't have them under this greenhouse bed. So I thank you all for joining. Oh, I appreciate it so much. You guys are amazing. Like I said, I post on Facebook, I post on Instagram. I haven't put much on YouTube lately, but I need to get back to YouTube. But everything is under the Sweet Tea Trika if you look it up. But I think TikTok is a good community when it comes to learning. If you want to find the answer to something quick, like I looked up a TikTok yesterday on even how to cut, on where to cut the zucchini. And it said to leave some space, you know, leave some of this on the top. Don't cut it right here, because now you're cutting into the plant. So you leave some of this green stem on there. And I'm like, oh, see, a quick TikTok. That's all you need. A good 30, 60-second video to tell me what I'm supposed to do. Now, when you watch YouTube, longer videos, which takes longer to find the answer, whatever you're looking for. But if you say, how do I cut a zucchini, harvesting zucchini, you easily find a video on that. So I think you can use TikTok for the resources for education when it comes to gardening or anything cooking. If I want to look up recipes of what to cook with zucchini, I'm sure I can find lots of videos on zucchini casserole, zucchini spaghetti, zucchini noodles, zucchini fries, zucchini, I don't even know, stir fries, zucchini, I don't know. What else can I do with zucchini? I'm gonna think of find some more recipes. See, that's why I'll go on TikTok, find some more zucchini, zucchini recipes. And the same thing with the jalapenos, but I know what I could do with these because I'm gonna make me some more guacamole. I can make some salsa with the tomatoes. Once I get more tomatoes, I can make pico, fresh pico. So you eat that with chips, but the guacamole, I've been making guacamole and I'm just eating it out the bowl. Because like I said, vegetarian, I be hungry. And fresh, clean eating, it tastes so much better. Ooh, there's a bee. Fresh, clean eating, it tastes so much better. And I really was going to give up on the gardening this year. I was like, oh, just throw it all away. But I went to the store, I got these plants. Like I said, each plant was $2, $1.99 a plant. And if you buy stuff in the store, I mean, it probably would be $2 for this many. Probably won't even get this many jalapenos. But then I have, 3 plants. So that was 2 for $6. Yeah, somebody wants to invite as a co-host, but I'm not sure. I don't know him. So we're gonna wait on that. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. I'm about to jump off though. But I just wanted to jump on and share how happy I was in person about my gardening. So if you are doing a garden out there, be patient with it. Don't give up. If you have to give up on the idea of seeds and just try to buy some plants, starter seed plants from the store. Like I said, I went to an actual garden greenhouse center. It was in Greenwood, South Carolina, but it was not like the Walmart, Home Depot garden center. It was a greenhouse garden. This is other place you could stop and go to garden centers. I got a squash plant from another garden center in North Augusta, South Carolina. So you could just, when you see those garden centers or on this road, farmer stands that they have plants, I mean, you could try it. What is it going to hurt? But I only bought plants for things that I know that I eat. I mean, I know I eat jalapenos. I know I eat zucchini. I didn't want to grow anything in the garden that I did not know what it was. Because there's all kind of plants and stuff and all kinds of different things. But at least I know what tomatoes are. I know what a tomato is. I can use the tomato. There's a tomato right there. Y'all see that tomato? Ah. I know what jalapenos are. I'm going to use them to make salsa, make pico, make guacamole. Oh, and another thing, the deer came back last night and attacked this garden over here. I was telling you about the garden right here. In the ground garden. I don't know if y'all can see it. There we go. Anyway, the deer came from back there. And I don't think they mess with anything over here, all thanks to, where is it? Let me flip this around. The marigold. So you see those yellow plants right there and over there? Those are supposed to deter pests. Or you see Kai back there, he's practicing being outside. That's our American bully, but we let him go out, get some outside time. During the day. He likes being outside instead of being cooped in the house. He was a house dog for years, but now he's out here doing South Carolina living outside during the day. But anyways, back to the marigold. The marigold, someone asked me in a video before, what were those yellow plants in the garden bed? And I said, oh, the marigold, and they're supposed to deter pests and deer, and it is working. Now over here in this garden, he only put 1 marigold, and I said, hey, I got marigolds over here and over there, and I don't know what they smell like to a deer, but it must be bad because they did not mess with the stuff. And I'm so happy they didn't mess with my zucchini. They didn't come get my jalapenos. I think I would have probably been out here ready to quit gardening again. Like, now there's a long list of things that I have started and quit. And gardening was one of them. Like I said, we tried this in 2021. I had bought all this dirt, bought all this stuff, all these containers. We had got the PVC pipes, and we made holders for the containers. Like, you can go back to my old TikToks from 2021 and look at my gardening video and then we had grew something. I had I remember butter lettuce. I did use that lettuce to make a salad, but everything else was just turned into a jungle. Like beans, they vine. You got to watch out for stuff that vines and spreads. Like these zucchini, I didn't know these zucchini plants get so big. I mean, they started off a little tiny plant, and then you put them in the ground with a little fertilizer and water and the rainwater. The rainwater is like liquid gold. So then next thing you know, it's only been a month. This is after 1 month. 1 month. We put the plants in the ground. I know it was like, I gotta look back at my videos, but it had to have been around Good Friday. That weekend of Good Friday after, in April. So that's been a month. 1 month. So, I mean, if I can do it, I'm going to say anybody can do it, because if you just take a little bit of patience, and you don't have to have any space, you really could just have enough space to put those containers. And as long as you put drainage holes, that's the problem. We didn't put many holes in those black bins that we got the onions and potatoes in, so hopefully they don't get messed up. I mean, I'll make a video about it. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, it's like one hole, so you want to make sure you have the drainage holes. And then you see with the garden that's in ground, how when it rains, it soaks it so much. But with the garden beds, it's like, it doesn't look like it's flooding, which is good. So it's just getting the rainwater. The plants are absorbing it, and like I said, and I'm getting this. I can't wait to wash this off. I'm gonna do the same thing like I did yesterday. Let it soak in some warm water with some white vinegar to just clean it off, because I know it's probably some ants. And then I did use that insecticide, that 7 insecticide, but I want to make sure that I wash that off the best I can before I cut it up and eat these vegetables and serve them to my family. Just to make sure it's clean. But it's been fun chatting. I appreciate everybody joining. Thank you all for the support. If you are gardening and you are getting a little bit nervous about it, nothing's happening, just be patient with it. Whatever you're growing, take the time to go on TikTok and research what, that each vegetable, because that's what I was like. I want to research each vegetable. Let me look up zucchini. Let me look up jalapenos. Let me look up tomatoes, look up squash, research. And then, like I said, with the zucchini, if I had researched more, I would have known that those plants get so big. So luckily we rearranged this garden and made sure everything had enough space to grow, because the 2 zucchini plants are humongous and they're taking up lots of space. So if you do next time, I think with these garden beds, if I could have it like indoor in a greenhouse, or just have more beds, I probably would just do, you could do a whole thing with just zucchini, a whole thing with just tomatoes. Each box could have its own category, and then maybe add in, like with tomatoes, they say a good companion plant is basil, and then maybe give it a different flavor. But the tomato I ate last night, that was right out of this garden, was good. So I can't imagine, I guess, what it would have tasted like if I had some basil growing next to it to help give it that extra basil-y Italian maybe like vibe on the tomato. I don't know what that does, but that's something to experiment with again. The pruning, I researched, saw videos on that. It says when there's a flower growing at the top of those pepper plants and the tomato plants and jalapenos, that you can prune them down and that the energy flows up and the plants start to grow. So that also is true with these jalapenos. They start to grow, and the serrano peppers, they start to grow. The bell peppers haven't popped up anything yet, but the energy growing up, and the plant can produce more yield. All right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. I think one day I might have to just make a whole separate page just for gardening, like I did my food page, Easy Meals with Sweet Tea Trika. I might need to make a separate page just for gardening. You know, in the future, I'll probably make another page for yoga. I have my yoga certificate, instructor certificate. Once I start making videos for that, that'll be another page to keep up with. So I appreciate all of the support, you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and happy gardening. So from our garden to your table. Bye. Happy weekend.